Aristotle, architect of reason and founder of the scientific method. He didn't just influence the development of civilization. He forged its intellectual framework, laying the foundation for scientific thought millennia ahead. A student of Plato and mentor to Alexander the Great, he became the first true polymath, whose work spanned every known field of his era, from biology and physics to ethics and politics. But what's most astonishing, how could one man, without modern tools or centuries of accumulated data, formulate principles that still underpin scientific inquiry? His methodology, a blend of empirical observation, logical deduction, and systematization, became the gold standard of science until the modern era. Curiously, Aristotle likened the process of knowledge to a detective's work. Just as an investigator reconstructs a crime from scattered clues, a scientist must piece together nature's laws from fragmented evidence. Aristotle developed his geocentric theory as follows. Earth is a heavy body, and the natural place for heavy bodies is the center of the universe. Experience shows that heavy bodies fall vertically, and since they move toward the world's center, Earth must reside there. Even when his specific theories, like the geocentric model, were disproved, Aristotle's approach to analyzing reality remained unshaken. One of the first naturalists, Aristotle is rightly considered the father of biology. Unlike many ancient thinkers who speculated about nature abstractly, he conducted meticulous observations, dissected animals, and recorded patterns. His studies covered over 500 species, from marine life to mammals, and many of his discoveries remained relevant for centuries. His research is striking in its scope and method. In morphology and anatomy, he first described rudimentary organs, e.g., eyes in moles, and homologous structures, similarities between fish fins and terrestrial limbs. In physiology, he studied digestion across species, noting how teeth adapt to diet. In ethology, he kept detailed records of animal behavior, foreshadowing modern zoopsychology. In ecology, he described symbiotic relationships and the environment's impact on organisms. His work on the generation of animals deserves special attention, where he traced chick embryogenesis in detail, day by day. Described epigenetic development, the sequential emergence of organs. Proposed a theory of gradual organismal complexity. Without microscopes or modern technology, he described chick development in eggs with such precision that his notes were used in textbooks until the 18th century. He first observed that embryos pass through sequential stages, laying the groundwork for future theories of epigenesis. His division into blooded vertebrates and bloodless invertebrates anticipated modern taxonomy. Moreover, he noted similarities in limb structures across species, the beginnings of comparative anatomy. In History of Animals, he not only detailed anatomy but also analyzed behavior, migrations, and species interactions, laying the foundations of ecology. Aristotle devised a universal framework for explaining any phenomenon, the theory of four causes. Material cause, what a thing is made of, e.g., marble for a statue. Formal cause, its essence, structure, the sculptor's vision. Efficient cause, the source of change, the sculptor's work. Final cause, its purpose, aesthetic pleasure from the statue. This framework proved so universal that it's still applied today. From engineering, where design considers material and function, to programming, where code is both structure and a problem-solving tool. Even modern problem-solving methods like 5 whys trace back to Aristotle's logic of causality. Aristotle was the first to systematize the rules of correct reasoning, creating formal logic. His syllogisms, g. All men are mortal. Socrates is a man. Therefore Socrates is mortal, remained the bedrock of logic until the 19th century. Though many of Aristotle's physical theories were disproved, their historical significance is immense. Theory of elements: earth, water, air, fire plus ether. Concept of natural motion. Idea of sublunary and superlunary realms. Theory of the continuum. Paradoxically, the critique of Aristotelian physics drove the scientific revolution of the 16th to 17th centuries. Galileo, in refuting Aristotle, often followed his methodological principles. The Organon, his collection of logical works, became a prototype for the scientific method, showing how to derive reliable conclusions from axioms and observations. His categories, a system for classifying concepts, substance, quantity, quality, etc., is still used in philosophy and linguistics. Without Aristotelian logic, there would be no medieval scholasticism, modern mathematics, or even computer algorithms, where deductive principles underpin artificial intelligence systems. In Nicomachean Ethics, Aristotle proposed one of the deepest concepts of happiness, eudaimonia. Unlike hedonism, chasing pleasure, or asceticism, he argued that true flourishing lies in realizing human potential through virtue. Aristotle believed life's goal is neither pleasure, as Epicureans claimed, nor austerity, as cynics preached, but the fulfillment of human potential. Virtue as the golden mean. Courage lies between cowardice and recklessness, generosity between stinginess and extravagance. Virtue is a skill developed through practice, like playing the lyre. Habits shape character. We are what we repeatedly do. An idea that anticipated modern psychology and neuroplasticity, which shows how repeated actions reshape the brain. Unlike theoretical knowledge, this is the ability to make sound decisions in real life, a concept relevant to modern coaching and management. Aristotle first declared that man is a political animal, i.e., social, and his well-being depends on society's structure. In politics, he analyzed forms of government, monarchy, aristocracy, democracy, and their corrupt forms, tyranny, oligarchy, ochlocracy. Emphasized the middle class's role in state stability, an idea confirmed by modern political science. Argued for the necessity of citizen education, without which even the best laws fail. In poetics, Aristotle laid the foundations of literary theory. Tragedy should evoke catharsis, purification through pity and fear, unity of action, time and place, a principle still influencing dramaturgy. Characters must be believable, and plots logically complete. These ideas remain relevant in screenwriting, literary criticism, and even video game design, where narratives follow classical dramatic principles. Though many of Aristotle's physical theories, e.g., the fifth element, ether, or the natural place of elements, were disproved, they shaped scientific inquiry for centuries. His notion of an unmoved mover influenced medieval theology. His idea of nature's purposefulness, nature does nothing in vain, foreshadowed evolutionary biology. Even his errors were fruitful. Debates with his legacy drove science forward. From Copernicus to Newton, Aristotle didn't just write treatises. He founded the first research institute. His Lyceum, where students learned while strolling, hence peripatetics, became a prototype for universities. His influence spans the Islamic world, Avicenna, Averroes. Christian scholasticism, Thomas Aquinas made his philosophy the basis of theology. Modern science, his logic in AI algorithms, his method in evidence-based research. Today we find Aristotelian ideas in biology, teleology in evolutionary theory, linguistics, category theory, cognitive sciences, thought schemas, economics, fair price theory, Aristotle's lesson, "Plato is my friend, but truth is dearer," captures his approach. He taught not to blindly trust authorities but to seek truth through observation, logic, and critical thinking. This is his greatest gift to humanity. Aristotle didn't just create a system of views. He crafted the very language of scientific and philosophical discourse. His categories and concepts still shape how we think about the world. His core lesson lies in uniting rigorous method with broad scope, blending empirical precision with theoretical depth. Modern science, while surpassing specific Aristotelian tenets, continues to follow his fundamental methodological principles. Aristotle was the first to ask, "What does it mean to exist?" He introduced substance, that which exists independently, e.g., a specific person. He divided reality into actual, what exists now, and potential, what it could become. He explained the world's motion through the unmoved mover, the cause of all change itself unmoved. All men by nature desire knowledge. These words open his metaphysics. Aristotle himself was the fullest embodiment of this desire in the history of human thought. His legacy is no museum piece but a living system of thought that continues to function. As philosopher Alfred North Whitehead said, "All European philosophy is a series of footnotes to Plato and Aristotle. If Plato gave us the world of ideas, Aristotle taught us to understand the world of facts." And today, in the era of big data and artificial intelligence, we still think within the frameworks he created. Aristotle isn't history. Aristotle is the foundation of our thinking.